Um, Big challenge. Hi, I'm Big Challenge. Big challenge. Let's start that again. So, a question I often find myself asking business owners is what's the number one challenge in your business, or um, or priority? What's the number one priority in the business? And the reply comes back: it's around time, money, or people. And they're all quite linked, really. So, I want to free up more of my time. I want to make more money. I want to get more from the people that work for us. Um, and the key really is systemization or leverage. So leverage literally means divide to multiply, ever more with ever less. And if we think about probably the first person to really do this well was Henry Ford, where he took the production line, or there wasn't a production line before here, Henry Ford. He took the producing of a motor car and he chopped it up and he created the production line. So he divided it up and he made each area really super efficient so they could make a lot more for a lot less. And that's how we do with systemization. That's how we free up our time, make everything more efficient with systemization. So what I want to show you here are the 9 steps to systemization. I will go through more in them all in more detail at a later date, but here they are as a quick overview. So we start off with vision. We've got to get clarity on where we're heading. If we don't know where we're going, or if we don't know where we're going, then how can we get there? But more importantly, how can our team help us get there? So clarity on the vision. What's the end goal look like? Start with the end in mind. Now, mission is more the road we're going to take to get there, to that vision. So that's the people that we work with, the sort of types of business and markets that we're involved in, and then culture. Who are the people who we have working for us? Now, culture is really important that we set this and get this right. It has to be aligned with our values. Now, if you've not set a culture, you've probably found that one has already developed in your business, and it's not always the one that we want. So it's important that we define what the culture is. What are the rules of the game and the behaviours that we expect in our business? The next step is SMART goals. What exactly is it that we want to achieve and how we're going to get there? SMART, arguably, is specific, measurable, agreeable or achievable, results focused and time framed. But I think the key area is it's got to be specific, measurable and time framed. So when is it it's got to be done by? And we have SMART goals for everybody in the business. Who's going to achieve what and by when? Number 5 is the organisational chart. So again, thinking about starting with the end in mind, getting clarity on what exactly the business looks like when it's finished. So what does the organisational chart look like when it's finished? To most people, this is a real alien concept. Haven't done it for where the business is right now, let alone when it's finished. So if we think about it, there's 3 main areas to any business. There's winning the business, so sales and marketing. There's doing the business, so operations, and getting paid for the business, so the financials. So we can start off with having you as the MD at the top, then sales and marketing director, operations director, and financial director. And then below that, what are all the positions that fall into that? And we're talking about, as I said, what does it look like when it's finished? And currently, most of these positions, if you put a name next to them, that might be me, Fred. That doesn't matter. We'll grow into these positions as we fill roles to take more people on. Gradually, positions will get a new name on them. But it's important to get clarity on what all the roles and responsibilities are from the organisational chart, because this dictates, this helps us to fill in what the positional contracts are. So the positional contracts are for each role and responsibility. Everyone has one, and they help us identify for the team exactly what's expected of them. So what are the measures that we're agreeing? What are the key performance indicators for each role? What's the training that's needed? What are the standards that they are expected to keep to? What training and skill will they be achieving? And what are the results that they will end up with? Once we've got KPIs for each position and each member of the team, then we want key performance indicators for the business, for each department, if you like. So if you think about, let's forget about the KPIs or key performance indicators. Just think about what are the key numbers in your business that if they improved would have the biggest impact on you and your business. Some it might be profit, some it might be conversion rate of lead to customer, some it might be check a trade score. Whatever the key numbers are in your business, if you're not measuring, start measuring. It's a funny thing that when we start focusing on something, it will grow. And as they say, Peter Drucker said, if you can't manage what you're not measuring. So let's start measuring. Let's start with just 2 or 3 numbers if you're not measuring a great deal at the moment, what are the ones that are going to have the biggest impact on your business. Now, it's not till we get to point 8 that we start looking at how we do each of the roles in the business. We want to start off with what are the roles that we do most often. Start off with your roles as a business owner. What do you do most often? Even better, perhaps start with the roles that you enjoy least and the least skill needed for to be done. And produce a how-to around that. Now, we don't want to be having just a massive procedures manual stuck in a cupboard getting dust. For sure, have that as a backup, but we want something that's usable and that can be used every day by our team. So a checklist. Checklist is the simplest form of a system. Look at airline pilots. They use that every time they take off to stop themselves flying into mountains or killing themselves. So if it works for pilots, it can work for you. You know, often you hear people saying that, I can't get him to do what I want him to do. Well, has he got a checklist so he knows what he has to do? It sounds simple, but it's the most effective way of creating a system and getting people to produce the results that you want them to produce and consistently. And then finally, management systems. Once we've got all these in place, what are the management systems so we ensure that they keep performing and that we can keep updating them and that there's ongoing review of the systems ongoing, bizarrely. So listen, I hope this has been helpful for you. I will do a more in-depth video for each of these to give you more meat on the bone. But for the time being, I hope this has been some help and I look forward to having your feedback. Speak to you soon. Bye.